man is so boring. I just can't. He rubs me the wrong way. He annoys me. And I know it's personal at this point. Because why? She's worse than Dodo. She's worse than Dodo. Because throughout this whole thing, she was just hearing what she wanted to hear. And I was like, let it go. Sorry. I'm hot, guys. We have to want better for our children. Hi everyone, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia. This is DISBYDEM. We're talking about episode 6, parts 1 to 4, 5, 6, part 7, I guess. All of it. Episode 6 of Heart Signal China season 8. So do all the right things and let's just hop into it. So we're just gonna skip to, the good bits. Action Hero and Dodo are cooking, and then Yuhan kind of escorts Sunnyside to the kitchen, and he sees that Action Hero is cooking, and then he leaves. And I'm like, Yuhan frustrates the ever-living life out of me. I get it, but he didn't leave in the I'm just gonna give her space kind of manner. He just left because he's like clueless kind of manner. Just walked away. And I was just like, why? Vibes are weird between Action Hero and Sunnyside at this point in time. So she follows Yuhan. She leaves and goes to the other kitchen to be beside Yuhan, or at least just to follow Yuhan. Lee-chan returns like with a type of fish that Black Cat likes. She said that she liked that or wanted that kind, so he bought it for her, and then ropes her into kind of like just being around him while he preps. He did look tired, I'll give him that. He looked exhausted, but I have no pity for this man. I don't intend to ever have pity for him. I don't like what he stands for or how he behaves. So guys, I don't like him. It's not going to be favorable for him. I'm just being honest. I just can't stand ya. Let me know if you know where that reference is from. They are flirting up the storm, and Black Cat looks absolutely happy. I will talk about that very last episode where they brought all of them together to react. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on her body language throughout that whole thing. Another person who looked like he was walking zombie was West Coast. Oh, right along. Oh my god, this poor boy. He just looked like they had zapped the energy out of him. He looked like somebody had sucked his blood to the very last drop. Poor guy. He brightens up a little bit when Jue walks in because he smiles at her. But not in a excited, just kind of like, okay, I know she's here. I need to brighten up. But he brightens up even more when Dodo came in. She doesn't really pay any attention to him, unfortunately. And so he goes back to his Walking Dead cooking. He was making tamagoya. Is that how it is? I don't know. But he was making that dish that Jue liked, that egg dish that he made that Jue liked. So when Dodo came in, Lee-chan literally, he doesn't even acknowledge her. In fact, he turns away and focuses on the fish just so he would not have to interact with her. Here's my thing. I can accept that he's not interested in her. I love that for him. He knows where his home is. He knows where he wants to be, which is with Black Cat. Love that for him. What I don't understand is how he would let his cowardness affect even his relationship or his interactions with Black Cat, because he locked up so much that he even stopped giving Black Cat as much attention as he was before Dodo was in the room. And for me, that's stupid. That is just stupid. Dodo tries to engage with Lee-chan. He walks over and says, what are we making? He answers fish. I don't know if he was the one that answered, guys, but it was such a cold reaction. I needed to take a break. I took a break from the episode because my heart was not ready for this. And this was just for Dodo's sake, right? My heart was not ready for it. Because this poor girl, you could just see the brightness starting to seep out of her as well. She is the most peppy person in the house. And she literally looked like she was slowly dying. She looked like she was turning into West Coast. I just really felt bad for her. I took a break. I took 2 hours off, guys. I don't know what I did. They were all sitting to eat, so all of them sat down to eat. And Lee-chan was acting like he was eating dinner with his wife and his mistress. It's just like, oh my god. Oh my god. He was so awkward. He was awkward with his wife and he was awkward with his mistress. It's like, pick a side. Pick a side, Ah god. Lan, Dr. Fang, Bad Boy, and Yifan were all missing from the dinner. And then we see that they actually went on that when they won badminton, they went for that four-way dinner that they had. we see this in the other episodes, you know, at the end, but it was literally a torture session for Bad Boy because he was there to observe the love between Dr. Fang and Lan Lan. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But I feel like maybe it did click for him then and there that it's not just about her trying to decide between two guys. It's her having already decided that Dr. Fang is for her, and that is where her heart is. Yifan did her best, but honestly, you can't trump love. It's just what it is. Lan has chosen. Lan knows where her mind is. She knows where home is, and that's where she wants to be. They do end up talking about the roommates swap or move, and they decided that Bad Boy will be moving to the second floor. Sunnyside's key is missing from the train date thing, so she's going to be going on a train date that evening. She looked really cute with her pink skirt. I really liked it. She looked nice. People are assuming obviously it's either Action Hero or Yuhan. I think Jiwei and Black Cat, I think, went over to Action Hero and they were saying, oh, did you take the key? Did you take the key? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then some other people went over to Yuhan and they were asking, and he looked very clueless. He played clueless very well. I commend him. So she comes out, Sunnyside comes out, and it was Yuhan, and I was like, finally, he finally does something on his own. Oh, in that moment, I was actually really proud of him. Just in that moment, guys. Just in that moment. So, for the train date, what I liked, he talked a lot in the beginning. Especially in the beginning, he was the one making a lot of comments. He was very engaged. I was very into it for that. He was very much proactive at the beginning of the date. She did ask him that same question about how he would split his time between his partner, social scenarios, and being alone. She'd asked Action Hero this, and he said a third. If I remember correctly, I can't be sure, guys. There's a lot that has happened between that question and now. I can't. But whatever he answered was the exact same way she would split her time between all three scenarios. Action Hero said that he would give 7 to his partner, 2 to social, and 1 alone. I know they edited it to look like it was all hearts and rainbows, but I feel like with the more time she spends with Yuhan, the less she's attracted to him. However, she has died on this hill, and so I feel like she keeps just pushing forward because she has made such a, you know, such a problem about liking him that I think now she feels stuck. But when he said 7 partner, 2 social, 1 alone, something dimmed in her eyes. But we move. She said that how she grew up affected her sense of security, and that has led to her needing affirmation. And they then show us Yifan and Action Hero, who are, you know, sad and everything. When Sunnyside said that thing about sense of security and needing affirmation, I said everything that she has talked about wanting, a man of action, somebody who makes her secure. I feel like she was describing Action Hero to a T. I get it that who you're attracted to is where you want to go, but I also feel that there was attraction for Action Hero and he fits the bill for everything that she's looking for. Because if my daughter should bring somebody like Yuhan to my house and say this is him, I will tell her, carry him back to where you're coming from. The man, nothing against him. I'm just a person who appreciates action. Be about it, do it. That's how I am. And it's my love language. So unfortunately, men who are just slot-like and just take their time to do everything, I just don't get it. If she ends up with Yuhan, he will end up frustrating her unless they can figure it out. But I feel like he's already 30. He's like set in his ways. Unless they can, he will frustrate her because she will have to tell him every single thing that she wants done. In my own mind, Yifan is actually more suited to Yuhan. Let me reverse it. Yuhan is more suited to Yifan than to Sunnyside because I think Yifan doesn't mind taking up the rings and directing him. She also seems like she's slow but determined, if that makes sense. Not like slow like Yuhan, but also very calm, easygoing, but knows where she's going. So I think that Yuhan is more suited to Yifan than he is Sunnyside. But again, you like who you like. Can't force. I'm not the one marrying them, so it's not my business. Legion and Black Cat make breakfast together the next day. They eat and they make fun of Bad Boy. They were just making fun of how, you know, enthusiastic he is about his love for Lan Lan, basically. Then they head out because they're having a date. He admits that her name was already on that card, you know, when they gave them the 2 cards. And that's what I said, that when he saw when somebody knocked on the door and I think he noticed that she was wearing blue, he was with it. He had already grabbed the card. He knew who it was and who he was going to give. So he had already made up his mind by then that she was the one. It's all fine and good, guys. I don't want them to call me bitter. All the men are cooking tonight. They tell them, they send them a text that guests are coming. And guys, it's the moms. There was friends involved, but basically friends and family. So and the friends and family were met by the main host. I don't know his name. Tao, maybe? I don't know his name. I can't be bothered. And Victor Ma. I finally got to see Victor Ma. I got my dose of Victor Ma because he's been missing for a while. Oh my god, guys, the host. Do you guys remember? I don't know what episode it was, maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. They brought this one girl that was fantasizing everything. That girl was annoying me so much. I think she was annoying the host. I didn't say it then. I don't know why. I think I was already overwhelmed by all the information that we were getting from this episode, so I didn't say anything. That girl was so annoying. This new host, this one that was in these episodes, this episode and the previous episode, she is fantastic. I love her so much, so much. Black Cat, Dodo, and Sunnyside, all their moms came, and then Jue, her sister-in-law, came. Yifan, her bestie, came, and then Lanlan, her elder sister, came. Sunnyside's mom, woman after my own heart. I love that woman. Very direct, knows her mind, respectful, but will tell you how it is. That is, I love it. I know where her daughter gets that direct woman of action thing from. Loved her. She was my favorite mother, if I'm being honest. Dodo's mom, gentle, too gentle for the kind of daughter that she has. And her decisions by the end of this whole thing, I was very disappointed. Nothing on her mother. Respect. Dodo is my favorite girl. And I love her mom, but I just thought that she wasn't equipped for the scenarios that were happening. I wish that her dad had come. They did ask why the dad didn't come, and he said the dad would have just come to kill everybody. And they're not wrong. I still remember when Lion's dad came into the house in Yes I Do season 4, and Pampan was so stressed. Oh, that poor boy, but he handled himself so well. I think they might be my #1 couple out of all the couples that I've seen, out of all the shows that I have watch. Actually, I'm thinking of doing a ranking at the end of the year of all the couples of all the shows that I've watched, but we'll see. It's a lot of work, so I'm not really sure yet, but we'll see how that goes. The moms were speaking wisdom. They were actually really talking about, you know, the kind of people that they want for their children, and they spoke a lot about intentions, characteristics, values, and all that kind of stuff. It was really great. And then they were told to write questions on cards, so they will be asking the boys later. Part 2 starts, and the women are taken to the house, and the boys are gasted. Their flabbers were whelmed and their overs were gasted, guys. It was intense. I loved it. Yuhan had brought fruits already prepared, so he set that up. Very good thing to do. The main host was being very mysterious throughout this entire thing, poking at people, asking questions. And they asked him back in the hosting room, they were like, did you know who the couples were? And all that. He said, no, he didn't. But that it was very apparent when they were there about who showed favor to whom. And so he knew where to poke and, you know, press when he was being his mysterious self. I liked it. They made it fun. Guys, when Lala walked up to the door, my jaw dropped. This girl looks gorgeous. You know Lala looks gorgeous every single time. But she looked beautiful. No. Every time I see Lala, I expect her to be a bitch. And when she's nice, it just throws me for a curve because, my God. And I mean that like in the best way, guys. You just know how like pretty girls are conceited and just mean girls, and she's like breaking the stereotype left, right, and center. I love her. I really do. Shout out to the girl, you did good. And she always looks great. I just love her. Dodo also looked cute in her flower dress, but as soon as Dodo showed up, I knew it was not her day, guys. And yeah, I don't know. I was crying. I was crying. I tell you, I was crying. Anywho, when they all gathered, you know, they did this long table. I think they had like 20 chairs or something. I don't know how many. For the final dinner, and they gathered them. The sitting was a bit of a problem. At first, the women had sat down kind of all together on one end of the table. Then Action Hero kind of said, let's spread out a little bit with the seats after every other, you know, pairing so the men can decide. It took the men a long time to sit down. Dr. Fang immediately went and sat down near his girl. I was like, yes, sir. Man of intention, we love to see it. Bad Boy ended up sitting on the other side of Lanlan's sister, so that worked out for him. Jue had a spot open, but West Coast went to the opposite end and went to go and sit down on the other side of Sunnyside's mother. Neutral territory, guys. Yuhan sat in between Sunnyside and what's her name? and somebody, he ended up being beside Sunnyside, which is where he wanted to be. But obviously Yifan was left hanging, so she was kind of sad, but he was still opposite Yifan. I wouldn't take that as anything, but apparently she did, because we find out later that she was happy that she could make eye contact with him. I'm just like, Yifan, let it go. Let it fucking go. I'm sorry. And then Lee Chun sat beside Black Cat, who he was in between Black Cat and Dodo's mom. And Dodo was kind of upset, but there was no other option for him. There was no chair beside her anyway, so how would he sit beside you? So in the end, her mom was like, okay, should we switch places? And then they switched. I don't know why Dodo said yes. I get it, but she should have chosen herself there and then and said no thank you. She still doesn't do that even after this dinner and everything that happened. Anywho, Yifa's bestie does switch seats with her at first because she wanted to leave that seat open, but in the end, Action Hero ended up taking it because there was no seats left for him. He wanted to sit beside Sunnyside, it just didn't happen, so he got to sit beside Yifa. So the switch was all for naught in the end. So notes for the dinner. Most of the men were not being indirectly direct enough. Like I said, I finally got the rules in the last episode. Shout out to Red One. Shout out to you. Love it. So I finally got the rules. So obviously they can't say who they like, which I think Yifan broke that rule in this episode. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, on the train dates. But they still could have been direct. And I feel like the only people who were really standing on business were Dr. Fang, Action Hero, and then Black Cat, the girl. You know? And it really pissed me off because I was like, I get it that you have rules and you can't do some things. It's fine. That's fine. God. But be action-oriented. Even when Lalan's sister was talking at the end, she was saying that the intentions that Dr. Fang was showing, it was very direct and she understood where he was headed, who he liked and who he wanted to be with. Just make it known. They're just so wet and langly. Oh my god, they're gonna make me curse. I don't want to. It was pissing me off. The person that pissed me off the most, to be honest, was Lee Chan. Because he was very docile, just sitting there because he was what? He was uncomfortable. And I'm like, if Black Cat is your way, make it known to her. Give her security. She's the youngest person here. Huh? She has shown more maturity than you. Who is close to your 30s? Is he not close to 30? No, he pisses me off, I swear. I don't even know why. I know where it started from, but he just pisses me off. While I'm on the subject, I just want to say a huge shout out to two people that left comments on the last video. Radwan, shout out, and Ellie Pavlova. Perfect, absolutely wonderful. Thank you guys for leaving your comments, so detailed, and even had recommendations and everything. Ellie said something that made so much sense to me. She said, I think she was saying that we should have grace for Dodo, you know, because, you know, they don't see it like we do. And that's something that I've always agreed on, because when I watch Love Island and I'm seeing everything go down, I'm screaming. But again, it's such a cage where they have no way of telling what is happening. We see everything, they don't. They only know what the person in front of them is telling them, and they can only read from their own body language. So it was such a great point, Ellie. I really appreciated that. Thank you so much. I loved that comment. But shout out to the two people who left the comments. You guys are amazing, and you keep this going for me. I know that you're watching, you're feeling what I'm feeling, and I love that so much. Another thing that I liked during the dinner, the full dinner, was Black Cat was radiating. She looked so beautiful. She was so happy sitting beside that I wanted to say limp dick, guys. Oh my god. I'm just gonna call him by his name. I shouldn't call him out his name. She was so happy sitting with Lee Chern, and I focus on her in this instance because I like her. I think that she has stood on business. I think she has done it, and not to the expense of anybody's emotions. I know there was like there've been some like heated comments online about how Dodo is ruining their friendship and everything. I don't believe that's true. Dodo has been also very respectful, even to the point where it's like detrimental to her own self. I think both women have held their head high and they've comported themselves perfectly. And another thing, this is not friend signal, guys. This is heart signal. So friends or no, we're coming in here to find love, and if that is at the expense of a stranger that I'm staying with for 4 weeks, so be it. I beg you, Joe. I'm sorry. During the dinner, Dr. Fan was catering to Lan Lan while Bad Boy was catering to Lan Lan's sister. And I said, who would you choose if it were you? Personally, I think Dr. Fan chose the right person because in the end, he's not going to marry the sister. He's going to marry Lalan, right? But if it were me, I would cater to both of them because you want to appeal to the girl and her family. And in the grand scheme of things, if you appeal to her and they see how well you're taking care of her, it works out better for you than appealing to the family and ignoring the girl, is all I'm saying. But I think it worked out best for Lala because she was cared for and her sister was cared for as well. Yuhan is basically pressured into adjacent serving the table because, like I said, the main host was poking and probing, and he went over to Yifan and was like, "Did he serve you?" And Yifan said, "No." She said something about you cannot trick a person who is pretending to sleep or something like that. That was heavy. So Yuhan was pressured. He should have just said city so that it shows that, yeah, not really feeling that side, this is where my heart is, right? But it was kind of pressured into bringing something for the table and, you know, making it seem like he's feeling everybody. Kind of too late, if I'm being honest. It's medicine after death, but it is what the motherfucking is. Part 3 was the question and answer. So the first question was for Action Hero. They said, what can you offer my daughter during a relationship? Name 3 things. Narrate 3 things. 3 things. And he said the first one is a sense of security, second, emotional value, and the third is hobbies, because he has diverse hobbies. And as he's ticking there like this, I said, Sunnyside, do you see your life? You see your life? You are following slot there. And I don't even mean this like an insult to Yuhan. I think Yuhan is great if he finds the right person. I just don't think he's suited for Sunnyside, not with her get it done mentality. Because in the end, she'll start murdering him just so he can get things done. You know, so she's following Yuhan up and down like it's the end of be all, when all the values, all the characteristics, all the things that she's looking for in a man, Action Hero represents. Should she force it? No. But I actually think she is attracted to the man. But I guess it's Punan versus Heart. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. God, I don't know. I get it that Action Hero might be low-key, you know, jobless. I get it. But there's potential there. There is potential there. And I can't rule him out for having values that the other person doesn't necessarily perceive, especially when it's the values that I'm looking for. Do you get? That's all I'm trying to say. Second person, the mom was actually very impressed. She said that capabilities and a person's needs are some of the important things, and that Action Hero really expressed that perfectly. She didn't need anybody else to answer the question, and we moved on. Second question was Dr. Fang, and they said he should describe basically their daughter or sister in 3 words. He said gentle, sunny, and healing. I love that. Black Cat's mom was the one who actually asked question, and she picked Lee Chen to answer the question. He said stable, wise, and pessimistic optimist. So the mother was she agreed, she was happy, but God no, if anybody that I was looking to date my daughter described her as stable, wise, and pessimistic optimist, you can just head out the door, go grab your shoes and leave my house immediately. Because no, I feel like me sitting here, I can describe Black Cat in more colorful words than what he used to describe. It was lame to me. It's not romantic is what I'm saying. There's so many romantic ways that he could have put those 3 things, right? I just didn't appreciate it. Maybe because I didn't like the guy, but the mother agreed, so who am I, you know? Third person was Bad Boy, and they asked him how he would support a long-distance relationship. He said long-distance relationship is not an option to begin with. However, he would make the effort. The romantic things that he does, he'll make the effort to keep it going. Dr. Fang then says that, excuse me, teach, I want to answer the question. I said, La ilaha illallah. Hey, holy mother of God. Guys. As I was raised in a Muslim town, so if you're a Muslim watching this, I'm not making fun. I literally used to say the prayers growing up, so don't take it pee. And my husband is Muslim, if you didn't know. When he said it, I said, what is happening? God, I beg. He said he must be in love with the person to even start a long-distance relationship, and that even if anything were to go down, he will go to her without hesitation. 2 hours is not a big deal. I said, yeah, boy. Clean it up. And they've already talked about this. They talked about the long-distance thing on their train date like 2 or 3 episodes ago. So these people are set. If he doesn't, I think I'm like one episode behind where I'm watching it. So you guys probably have seen episode 7 at this point. I don't know where you guys are watching it from. You can put a link, or for the people who are on Patreon, you can send me a message there if there's a place to watch it more quickly. But I'm definitely one episode behind because I think Radwan said somebody had already picked, you know that couple dates thing where they'll clock off the show and go on their own dates. And it has to be Dr. Fang. If it's not Dr. Fang, I will be shook. He ate it up, guys. He cleaned the plate, he washed it and put it away. Number 4 was West Coast, and it was a twofer. He said, how do you handle social pressure? And what are your feelings towards my daughter? So the first one, he said he doesn't let social pressure get to him. He just tries to live a better and happier life. And the second question, he didn't want to answer because he said that he would rather know who asked the question and then he can direct the answer accordingly. But they didn't want to tell him. It was actually Dodo's mom's question, so it would have been perfect. But they didn't want to tell him, and so he said he didn't want to, miscommunicate or do anything. I think it was right and wrong at the same time. I think he could have answered too. But it's fine. It's fine. In the end, they asked Dodo's mom who she would rather give the question to. She deferred it to her daughter, and then Dodo immediately just put it beside Lee Chen. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. Let's get closer to all this nonsense. Lee Chen said that she is optimistic and outgoing. Why is it that Dodo was smiling? Why was she cheesing? What did he say that was so encouraging that she was cheesing like a mad person? It just didn't make sense to me, And then the 5th question was for Lee Chen, and they said, what type of partner are you looking for, and what type of dating environment are you looking for? He said the partner is looking for a stable core, which is the description that he had already used for Black Cat. So obviously he's saying Black Cat is it for me. What type of a relationship environment are you looking for? Stable environment. This man is so boring. I just can't. He rubs me the wrong way. He annoys me, and I know it's personal at this point. Because why? Has he done anything? Yes, but is it that deep? No. So why am I so bothered, guys? You tell me why I'm so bothered. He rubs me the wrong way so bad. I can't stand him on this show anymore. I think he has a lot of work to do on himself, and I don't think he should be unleashed on anybody, especially not a 22-year-old who is coming into this looking for the love of her life. She's way too optimistic, way too trusting, way too open for somebody like Lee Chen. Call me jaded, call me bitter, guys. I'm just telling it as I see it because I think that is the truth. However, not my circus, not my monkeys. Moving on. Last question was for Yu Han, and they asked him it was a 3-part question: longest and shortest relationship, most important thing for a long distance relationship, and a sense of boundaries working with the opposite sex, how he will handle that if feelings are developed. Oh lordy. So he said his longest relationship was 4.5 years, shortest was 2 months. He said tolerance is the best thing for a long distance relationship. I would say communication. I hate long distance relationships. Only been in one. I mean, with my husband, I was in one for the first 6 months of our lives, but because I knew we were both moving to the same place, I agreed to it. Otherwise, no, after that first long distance, I could not do it anymore. But what I would say that I learned from that one was that communication was key. I talked to him every single day. I flew to him every weekend. He worked for an airline company, guys. It wasn't cheap, but at least it was accessible. I flew to him every weekend. I was with him constantly, or I was on the phone with him constantly. Communication kept that relationship going. In fact, one of the only reasons why I didn't get married to him was because genotype. And if you know, in Nigeria, that's a huge thing. Our blood types were not compatible for future children. And so I just made the decision to end it there and then, because I did not want to have to go through the things that my mother went through while I was growing up. But that's neither here nor there. Communication, I think, is the best thing, because through communication, you not only build trust, you have that security, knowing fully well that you and this person are in it for a long haul. You also get to know each other even more because you're talking consistently. If you don't have anything to talk to your partner about, why are you in a relationship is my question. And then the third one, he said that he won't let himself develop feelings beyond work for anybody of the opposite sex when he is in a relationship. Langon's sister was asked if she wanted anybody else to answer those questions. She said yes, that she wants the person who peeled her shrimp, which is Dr. Fang, and the person who picked food for her, which was Bad Boy. Dr. Fang's longest relationship was 5 years. His shortest was 1 month. He said trust is the most important thing in a long distance relationship. And he said, number 3, he would cut it off immediately if feelings developed with a coworker, whether it was on his end or her end. Immediately he is cutting it off. Bad Boy said his longest was 2 years, his shortest was a few months. He said being yourself and tolerance, helping each other grow is the best thing in a long distance relationship. He will not survive a long distance relationship. I will just tell you now, because those answers will not help you in a long. Tolerance does not help you in a long distance relationship. Trust was a better answer. I still think communication is key, but trust was a better answer than tolerance, guys. Just saying. And he said number 3 for he said he doesn't think that anything will happen like that because they don't go on business trips in his work right now, but that if it happened in the office, that social media will be one of his best tools because he will consistently post his girlfriend. He said he will consistently bring up his girlfriend during conversations. I trust him when he says that. Honestly, I do. He's the kind of person that will slap you left, right, and center with his girlfriend when he gets one. And he said that if it persists, he will report the person to his workplace or call the police, which is actually funny. And I believe him on both counts, guys. So we see later on that the moms, friends, and families vote on the men that they like the most for the night. And Lichon got 2 votes. It broke my heart, guys. Broke my heart when Dodo's mother put her fucking magnet on Lichon. I was boiling. I was like, mother, no. We have to want better for our children. I'm sorry. The mother is so gentle and calm, and I think she trusts her daughter so much, and I love that for their relationship. However, you, the mother, are older and wiser. You have seen life. You know, because it was a full-on rejection at that table. Full-on rejection. He rejected your daughter, and for that alone, you should not have given him your magnet. I don't care how gentle you are. Lord have mercy. That broke my heart. And then West Coast got 2 votes. He got one from Yifan's best friend, and the second one was from Juwe's sister-in-law. She liked the way that when he cooked, he cleaned up everywhere. And then I think Yifan's best friend said that he was very attentive or something like that to everybody, always willing to help, and the dishes that he made were good. I think maybe she had a crush on him, guys. Low-key. And I don't blame her. He's West Coast. He's a West Coast of a man. It's all right to have a crush on him. Back at home, Bad Boy tells Lichon that Dodo was very downcast throughout the entire dinner. And stupid idiot Lichon was like, Chinda. I was like, oh my God. Moving on. Dodo tells Sunnyside that it's really tough. Jue tells Black Cat that Dodo looks very unhappy. And then Black Cat says that her relationship with Dodo is getting stranger. And I was like, okay. I mean, valid. You're basically dating the guy that she likes. So I get that it's getting stranger. But I haven't really noticed that you guys were like tight. I noticed that Dodo would hold Jue or Lan be more closer to them. Especially during that sports day was when I noticed it more. Than actually Black Cat, which, yes, I mean, valid. Trying to be respectful and keep distance is the best way to do it, to be honest. But it's neither here nor there. West Coast plays the Jupin. I don't know. He plays that instrument for the house, and I was like, they're really making him earn his keep in this house, because why? Why does he have to kowtow to these people? Why does he have to entertain them? He's not only. I don't think he wanted to be there at all at this point in time, and they're making him play for the house. Anyways, it is what it is. Dodo then asks Black Cat to help her ask Lichon to walk the dog with her. And I was like, why? Why, Dodo, why? I feel like he was very explicit at that dinner. What more do you want? You want to hear from the horse's mouth? On a show where you're not allowed to confirm or deny anything? God, I don't know. My heart was breaking for her. Jue also kind of asks West Coast to play, if she can play the instrument, and he basically has to stand there and help her, right? She's being brave and just trying to push forward. I think Jue has been one of the most courageous people on this, and I like her. And her pushing forward for West Coast is still okay, acceptable to me, because West Coast has not actually declined her. He is always entertaining her, even though his smiles are strange. You know, he hasn't outwardly, indirectly said, I'm not feeling somebody else, right? So I'm okay with it, for now. I think she's doing her, and I can respect her. She has been very brave on this show, because she keeps taking L's and she keeps rising up, and that's really, really commendable. Lichon takes his time trying to decide. And he said that he thought that he was clear during the dinner, and this is what pisses me off. Dodo is making me agree with him. Because it was clear and concise. Literally rejected you in front of your mother. What more can you want? And then he decides that standing her up is his answer. And this is what boiled my blood the most. Because he's not a man. He's not a man. Johan had more balls than Lee Chun in this episode. And that says a lot. That says a fucking ton, guys. To tell you the kind of person that Lee Chun is. He said standing her up was more, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah, no. Respect in the gutter. In the gutter. Respect and way. And the hosts were like, oh, he's right. And I was like, no, let's not normalize weakness. In man or woman, let's not normalize it. It was disrespectful. The respectful thing for you to do is go out, take this walk with her and say, I think right now, I think we can just be friends. Simple. Ah, no. Oh my God. So this poor girl is sitting outside and she knows that he's not coming. She comes back inside. I think when Wesco saw her, his heart was breaking for her, but he didn't know how to comfort her. He tried, but he didn't just know how to reach her, you know. She and Joey then go to the side and they have this heart-to-heart. And honestly, I want to cry thinking about it again. I was crying. I'll insert it. I was crying. It broke my heart. And to see Dodo crying broke my heart. It really did. And it's over this guy that's not even worth it, you know. If Dodo was crying over like an action hero or even a bad boy, you know, somebody that goes above and beyond, I will get it, Dr. Fan. Even Johan, if she was crying over Johan, guys, it's even more respectable than Lee Chun. God, I need to back up. No, but it broke my heart. Her crying broke my heart. But it looked like after she and Joey cried together, I felt so bad too because Joey has experienced it. But it was for Dodo because Dodo was encouraged by him from the beginning. He never encouraged Joey. Joey liked him on her own. He never reciprocated. Dodo, he liked Dodo. He was seeking Dodo out, and then all of a sudden he's not feeling her, which valid, you know. But neither here nor there. But I think after the cry, she's like, you know what, it's fine. It's something that I can learn from. She actually does pull wisdom from it, and I like that for her. I'm just hoping, God, I'm hoping. How many more days do they have in this house? How many more weeks? Fingers crossed that she can give West Coast a chance. I feel like if she gives him a chance, he's going to spoil her rotten. That man is going to take care of her. She's going to be this perfect princess egg for him. If only she can give him a chance. If only. Well, I don't know. I can only hope for her. I can't force her, you know. And she likes who she likes, and she doesn't like who she doesn't like. That's also a thing, you know. Action Hero then seeks advice to fix things with Sunnyside. And Lala said, just be honest and clear. Like, yes, a misunderstanding, clear it up. Simple and short. West Coast also seeks advice from Lala. And Lala says, ask what you want to ask. Think about it. Then act. Be clear and brave. Lala was just distributing wisdom like it was candy, guys. She was just like, you get one, you get one, you get one. I was so proud of her. She did really good during that therapy session for the boys. The happiest couple then take photos together, which is Lanlan and Dr. Fang. They're just playing around and just having fun. It was a cute moment between them, and I love to see it. They seem to be really thriving, which I love. Yuhan and Sunnyside then go on a walk with the dog, and I feel like she was asking him the same question multiple times. She said, how was the night for you? He said, and I don't think the way it's like pulling teeth with this man when it comes to emotional things and deep thoughts. Sorry. He said he was really stressed about the cooking, but everybody made good dishes. I'm pretty sure she was like, how did the night go for you? You know, meeting my mom, the questions and everything. So she actually asked again, how did you feel about the questions? And he doesn't really answer. And I'm like, God have mercy. This is your life. This will be your life moving forward. You will have to ask him 700 times or directly say, why am I bothered? She says she's conflicted at this point in time because she knows he does not possess the characters, the values that she is looking for. It doesn't make him a bad person. It just doesn't make him her person. However, not my problem. And they don't seem in sync. There definitely is a disconnect between them, and there's just something. And they pass by Yifan and Black Cat, and it's a little bit awkward. But guys, I can't be bothered because I just can't be bothered. Yifan then heads to the little train and she grabs Yuhan's key. So on the train day, she asked if he chose his dinner seat from the hat, and he said yes. She takes that as, oh good, because you were sitting across from me, I was able to make eye contact with you. She just, throughout this, she's worse than Dodo. Because throughout this whole thing, she was just hearing what she wanted to hear. And I was like, let it go. Sorry, I'm hot, guys. No. She then started, she said that she started falling for him when he mopped outside that one time. And I think that broke the rules because she literally said, I liked you when you were with the mop outside in the rain. He then says emphatically that he wants to be friends. That was the first rejection. She asked again. I said, are you sure you just want to? He said, yes, I just think it's going to be friends. She asked again. Guys, she asked 3 times. He said 99.9% sure that he's not changing his mind. They're going to be friends. She asked a 4th time. I said, God have mercy. Just, God, I'm done. The host was saying, oh, she's a brave girl. She's this. I said, no, fuck no. Again, let's not normalize nonsense. Her being brave was her picking his key for the train date. Brave. Commend you. The first time he says, I want to be friends, take the L. Take the L and go. Because she still didn't learn. She still didn't learn. She still kept saying, I will still, if it were me, I will still hold on. If it were me. The man said no. Short of saying, Yifan, I don't like you. This man has done everything in his power. Honestly, he has done everything in his power. My God. I love bravery, but I hate when it's misplaced, guys. I just, it was too much. 4 times, it was too much. How many times do you want the man to reject you? It was too much. It was too much. Anyways, action hero and Sunnyside then have a conversation in his room. He clears up the misunderstanding, you know, and then he asks her out. He says, will you be willing to go out with me again? She's like, how can you make that happen? And turns out he got him the park date, you know, bottle and everything. She does hand it back to him and I'm like, is she rejecting him? And then she clears it up and says no, that she's willing to go out with him and everything. So the heart signal texts for the night. Jue sent it to West Coast. Dodo and Black Cat sent it to Lee Chen, but obviously Lee Chen sends back to Black Cat. Lan sends it to Dr. Fan, and it's obviously those two connect. Yifan and Sunnyside sent to Yuhan. Yuhan sends to Sunnyside. And then we see that Bad Boy and West Coast also sent to Lan. And action hero sends to Sunnyside. Now, at first when I saw that West Coast sent to Lan, I was like, why's Rulong texting Lan? And I remembered, I was like, okay, I think he's texting her to say thank you for the advice that she gave him about sorting out his problems, you know. And the hosts were like, why is he texting and why is he using that to say thank you? And I totally understood where it was coming from. He wants to reflect and decide, and then when he takes action for Dodo, then he can text her. I think that was where his mindset is. But he doesn't also want to encourage Yue. So texting Lan was kind of like the best option for him. And I agree, guys. I agree. I think he made the right choice in the way he used his text messages that night, because literally there was nobody else for him to text at that point in time. Holy Lord. Ooh, child, guys. I don't even know if it's the end. Like, when I'm watching it's episode 44. But I don't know how many days, I don't know how many weeks it's been. I mean, La La Land, the episodes are just counting like it's crazy. But I have to think that it's coming to an end, right? I have to think that it's coming to an end soon. It's been good. I'm not gonna lie, it's been good. I decided that since I'm going to be doing reactions for previous episodes, I'm going to start with season 6. Unfortunately, I know one of the couples now. It's neither here nor there. I'm okay with it. I'm going to start season 6 and then I'll grow to season 7. There's going to be a bunch of things in between, guys. I want to do Love Actually. I'm doing Love Kacha Japan. I found that one and I was super excited and it's so clear. I'm so happy. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff in between. But yeah, I'm going to start with Heart Signal season 6 and then do season 7. And we'll go from there. I think some other stuff will be coming out next month and I'm excited for. Exchange is coming out soon. I'm very excited for that one. I'm not sure. We'll see how it all goes. But yeah. Whoa, season 8 of Heart Signal it's been intense. Me crying for Dodo, I knew it was coming, but it still hit me a lot harder than I expected. But yeah. Oh Lord. As usual, leave those comments. Let me know what your recommendations are. Let me know if I'm being too hard on Lee Chen. I don't think so. And honestly, no matter what you say, it's still gonna be the same. I'm just being honest. There's nothing that he can do. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Those after episodes where he, Yuhan, Jue, and Black Cat were reacting to the events that were happening. He's been reacting a lot. I don't know why they keep thrusting him in our faces. Oh, sorry. What did we think of their body language? Do we think that she's still dating him? I think no. I think her body language was a little bit too reserved. And when she's not concentrating, her face looked sad. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Let me know what you felt about their reaction episodes and how their body language was throughout the whole thing. But yeah, I'll see you guys in episode... Can you come? What are we doing? Episode 7. Our first time, our first date. I'm so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight.